Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. سبحانك اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, all praises are due to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who granted us once again this opportunity to further our discussions and endeavors to understand the language or the Arabic language, inshallah. And may Allah Ta'ala make it easy for us, inshallah. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Alhamdulillah, just to refresh upon our lessons that we had done, because alhamdulillah, as we can see, tonight we will actually be starting with, we are now on lesson number 16, inshallah. We've completed 15 so far. And alhamdulillah, last week's lesson was very, very, very interesting, because it was actually the changeover from, the norm that we used to do, where we used to have the indefinite and the definite. And then obviously what we had then done was we had now brought in the very, very important part when it was or referred to the attached pronouns. So I think the pronouns, as we understood, that we made clear also that we have pronouns which are detached, you know, and as we know, the pronoun basically takes the place of a noun. I think it's Tasdeeq, can you maybe just mute
okay.
it?
I've muted the...
Okay, fine, right. So basically what is happening is that we find that the pronouns that we have done, you know, the detached pronouns, the hada, dhalika, hiya, huwa, you know, those are all pronouns, and those are all detached, okay? And that we came to realize, and I explained to us that when it comes to those type of pronouns, it affects the complete sentence, where you'll find that your mubtada and your khabar. Mubtada means your, which is the noun. You know that the noun itself is also, if that is feminine, then, or if the noun is feminine, then the detached pronoun will also be feminine. For example, if you refer to a female, you say hiya, you know, she, you know, then you say hiya talibatun, you know, then you refer that the noun that would refer to there will then also be feminine. And I think that is something that we made clear. Then last week's lesson was very, very interesting when we referred to the attached pronouns, which is the one that I have on the screen now, which is lesson number 15, where we had that table. You know, I'll just take it to the table quickly, just to... Okay. There we, you know, this table, remember, this was very, very important. Where we refer to the, what we refer to the attached pronoun, where we find that the attached pronoun, where we have done the kitabun, which is like indefinite. We discussed that in detail. Then we spoke, when we refer to the reference of al-kitabu being definite, and all the other here, from my book, your book female, his book and her book, all these, we can see these are all referred to as attached pronouns. Here you find the ya being the attached pronoun, here the kaf here, the ha, and the ha alif here. And all these are referred to as attached pronouns. And the important thing that we must realize is that because of the pronoun, that you add, it automatically makes this word kitab here, it makes it definite. You know, and I think that is important for us to realize. So from the book right down to the possessions here, all these are now regarded as definite because it refers to a specific, a specific book or to a book belonging to whoever. So therefore, the attached pronouns all refers to, as we had said, it brings about possession. Okay, so I think that we understood, and then thereafter we did a bit of the exercises, which was important. The new words that we've learned. And I just wanted to find out, did we have time to do the homework? Because as we know, we always start the new lesson or the beginning before we start the new lesson. We always just go through the homework just to make sure if everybody understood. I hope, we could manage to do it. So I will just do the favorite ones for us quickly. Can we maybe unmute just to see, if we can maybe just refresh on the discussions we had and how we understand it. Exercise number 15, item number 1, translating to Arabic. We said we're going to continuously refer to the Arabic. As I know, the main challenge that we have is to memorize the words. So, we're not going to be too serious on that. But like I say, it's going to depend on us to make that little bit of effort that we will collectively try and simplify for us. So here we can see here, for example, as I mentioned to us, if they put the F here in the bracket, it refers to feminine. If there's nothing in there, for example, then obviously it will then be regarded as masculine. So here we find here your female library, which means the library, but belonging to you as a female. How would you say? What is what was your answer on that? Anybody?
Library.
Library is most maktaba, no? Maktaba. Anybody? Did anybody do the homework? Nobody. Can we unmute ourselves? Those who did the homework, or those who just want just to participate also. Did we do this one here?
Huh? They unmute or they unmute? They unmute. They.
Unmute the man. Antwoord daar vir ons kan hulle. So stiek gewoon net die fietsie aan die brande gaan ons almal aan, inshallah. Bismillah. Die antwoord. Library, your library.
Maktaba.
Maktaba.
Maktaba Tuki.
Beautiful. Maktaba Tuki, right? Ki for female must remember your. Right? Your is second person ki. If it was masculine, your library for the male would say I would say Maktaba tu ka, right? Right, or the next one, her clean car. Car is Sayyaratu. Clean is Nadifatun. Why do we say Nadifatun? Because car is feminine. Therefore, the Sayaratun being feminine, therefore clean must also be feminine, right? But remember what we said when we have the detached pronoun, the attached pronoun. The attached pronoun can be connected to a noun, and that it is not required for you for the that the pronoun, the attached pronoun must be masculine because the word is masculine. Okay, which means it is possession, because a male can possess something which has got a feminine word as a noun or whatever. Okay, it is just when it comes to the detached pronoun. So her, what is her? Her is obviously ha, right? So we would say Sayyaratuha, right? Nadhifa.
An-nadhifatu.
Her clean car.
An-nadhifatu.
Naam. Sayyaratukan. Sayyaratukan nadhifa.
An-nadhifatuha.
The Sayyaratuhan.
An-nadhifatu.
An-nadhifa. Tun, right?
Tu. Maulana.
Nadhifa.
Because the car must hear definite because it's attached. That's Anna.
That's right, yeah. So it's Sayyaratuha Nadhifa tu, right?
An-nadhifatu.
Naam, intumos. Sayyaratuhan.
An-nadhifatu.
So next one, C Your teacher is excellent. Teacher.
Muallimun.
Muallimun.
Muallimun. Your teacher.
Muallimuka.
Muallimuka, because it's not a feminine. Is excellent. Excellent.
Mumtazun.
Mumtazun. So you would say muallima, muallimuka, muallimuka.
Mumtazun.
Mumtazun. Next one. My son is sincere. Son.
Son is waladun.
Ibn.
Ni.
Ibni. Sincere. Mukhli. Mukhlisun. Ibni mukhlisun. Number E, principal. Her principal is polite. Principal. Mudir, right? Mudiru ha. Mudiru ha, polite.
Muhadabun.
Muhadhabun. Muhadhabun. Why? Because principal here is masculine. And therefore muhadhabun must also be masculine, even though we say her principal. Right? The next one, his mother is friendly. Mother?
Ummi.
Ummi?
Muha.
Ummu. Ummuhu, his mother. Ummuhu, friendly.
Anisu.
Ani?
His mother is friendly. Anisatun.
Anisatun, because mother and friendly, you know, they are the two words that is feminine here. Okay? So, ummuhu nadhifatun. Then, my broken chair. Kursiyun. My chair is
Kursi.
kursi. Right? Kursi. Broken. Maksurun. Okay, because chair is masculine. You know, I hope you know that we take note, and please ask, you know, please, if you're not clear as to what we're doing here now, please, you know, just ask the question, because it is important, like I say, the way, that's the reason why I feel that we're doing the homework. The purpose of doing the homework is not to check whether you did the homework. The importance is because you can ask your son or your daughter or your uncle or your ustad also to do the homework on your behalf, you know. So it is not, you know, that the homework is done. It is important that we understand the homework. That's the reason why I am revising the homework. Okay, righto? So that is important, as we can see here. This here, you know, the possession here, the possession has got nothing to do with the gender of the sentence. Is everybody clear on that? Because here, this is important, as we can see here. Mother is feminine, right? Therefore, friendly must be feminine. But his is you know, it's like a masculine possession. See there? So this two, like mother, ummi, and friendly, you know, muhadhabun will become muhadhabatun, right? Because mother is, like we would say, feminine. Now we come to the next one, H, her knife. What is knife? Sikinu. Her knife. Sikinu. Sikinuha, right? Sikinuha, right? Next one, his cheap house. House. Baitun, cheap.
Baitur Rahisu. Baitur Rahisu.
Baitur Rakhisu, right? Baitur Rakhisu. You see, because this will take al, because remember we said, and this is, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but yeah, yes, I did. When you add the attached pronoun to the noun, it becomes definite automatic, right? Definite automatic. Now, the reason why we're saying, why we attaching cheap to house, because house is masculine. I mean, house is his house is now has now become what you would say definite, and then obviously if there was is in there, if we would have said his house is cheap, then cheap would have been rakhisun, right? But now because we say his cheap house, it means that cheap is the adjective of house here, right? So therefore we say his house, meaning Baytuhu, and then Rakhi. Baytuhu Sakhi. Baytuhu Rakhi Sun. Right? Baytuhu Rakhi Su. Okay? Then your oven is
غرفك
Furnun.
فرنك فرنك
طيب. All right, translated to English, we're not going to go into that. You know, that as I say, that we always, that we can look up in the book. The importance is here. Right, let us look at number 3. What does it say here? Choose the correct word to make a phrase or a sentence, right? Okay, you know, this here you can, like, you know, the first one here, walidatuha will become which one? Walidu, yeah, number 3, or number 4, sorry, where I am. Number 4, walidatuha, is it sa'idun or sa'idatun? How do I determine which is the proper, like we call it here, which is the proper word that you're going to use here? Which is the proper, like we would say, as we know, this is now a complete sentence, you see. Why do we say it's a sentence? That is the mubtada, meaning that's the subject, and sa'idun or sa'idatun is the khabar, meaning that is the predicate. Why? Because one is definite and the other one is indefinite. Can you see? That's the reason why we say sentence. And therefore they say these are either phrases or sentences. In this particular case, it is a sentence. Why? Because the mubtada, meaning the subject, is definite. Why definite? Because of the al. See there? Waliduha. The ha here indicates possession, which makes it definite, right? So therefore we say this is a complete sentence because of the words in the brackets here are all, like we would say, indefinite. Why? Because it's got the un on there. And because the un on there, as we know, if we translate, it becomes is. So you say, what is waliduha? Walid, what is a walid?
boy.
No. Walid. Walad is a boy. Walid is a parent. Is a
parent.
Walidu is a father. So walidatuha is a mother. See, another word for mother.
Yeah.
So waliduha, which word will we use here now?
Sa'idatun.
Sa'idatun. Why? Because walidatu is a feminine. Okay, beautiful. So that is how the whole story will go. Darsuka sahlun or sa'batun?
Sahlun.
Sahlun, because sahlun is a masculine. And obviously, as you can see there, dars is also masculine. You see, so that is why I'm just giving it to you like this so that we can just get a touch of it, you know. That's the reason why I'm revising the homework. Right now, Baytuka jamilatun or jamilun?
Jamilun.
Jamilun, beautifully. Why? Because bayt is a masculine word. The next one here, khadimuhul muti'u or muti'atu.
Muti'u.
So this khadimuhul muti'u. See why? Because muti'u is a masculine word, see there, and muti'atun is feminine, right? And then obviously this is not a sentence now. This is now a phrase, right? Am I right? This is a phrase. Why? Because both of these are definite, right? Both of these are definite. Next one, Abi khazinatun or al-khazinu?
Al-khazinu.
Al-khazinu. Abi or abil khazinu. Why? Masculine father, Abi, father masculine. Khazinu also masculine. Hada khitabuki risalatuki. Hada
Kitabuki.
Kitabuki or risalatuki.
No, but hada refers to this letter.
Hada is masculine. Remember, hada refers to masculine. So which of these two words is masculine here? Khitabuki or risalatuki?
Kitabu.
Khitabuki is masculine. See this was hada khitabuki because risalatuki, that ta there That ta there, that is actually becomes a feminine ta. Remember, the root word of it is risalatun, right? Then that's a ta marbuta, right? Risalatun is was a letter, right? So therefore, what we now have is that because of that, adding the kia, which is the attached pronoun, this obviously the ta marbuta changes to a normal ta. Okay, the next one here, dhalika. Dhalika or tilka kitabuha.
Tilka kitabuha.
Dhalika kitabuha.
Dhalika kitabuha. Because
I
kitabu is
confused with the ha.
masculine. The ha is, remember the ha is possession here.
Yeah.
Kitabu is masculine. Dhalika is for masculine. Tilka is for feminine. Right?
Okay.
Next one. Ma or man. Ummuhu.
Man ummuhu.
Man ummuhu.
Jaris, answer me that one.
Man ummuhu.
Jaris?
Maafi ma?
What is the answer
Yes.
there? Ma or man? Ummuhu.
Man ummuhu.
Man ummuhu. Beautiful, right? Because man is who, right? Ma,
Yes.
man means who. And ma is for what. You can't say what is, what is ummu, means man,
Yes.
because, that when you address a person, you use the word man, means who, right? Next one, indahu or hadihi sikinun.
Indahu
Indahu sakinun.
Sikinun.
Indahu
Sikinun is a knife, right? And then hadihi would have been feminine and sikin is not feminine, right? Beautiful, guys. Last one. Hadihi mistarati.
Hadihi.
Hadihi or hada mistarati.
Hadihi Mr.
Remember, how do we determine which is, which word you use? You first see if your noun. Don't look at the attached pronoun as I remind us. You look at your noun and then you see the tense or the gender of your noun. And if your noun is masculine, then you use the masculine detached pronoun. You know what I'm trying to say?
Hadihi,
So it will be hadihi because mistarati ruler and a ruler is feminine. And you say mistarati means my ruler, right? Okay. Is everybody comfortable?
Yeah.
Ahsan. Let us go on. Alhamdulillah, I think that is the end of that lesson. So inshallah, can I go over to the new lesson, or is there any questions with regards to the old lesson? Everybody comfortable?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, Imam.
Type. Right, now we go on. Lesson number 16. The interrogative particle kaifa. See, now we're going a bit more. Remember we did the question? Now we're coming to another part of the interrogative. As soon as you hear the interrogative, it means a question is going to be asked. Remember, thus far, what we had done question so far was how. Remember? Ma, man. Those are all interrogative particles that we had done where you ask a question. Now we're going to go into more detail now, specific, where we see that the interrogative particle kaifa, and I'm sure you'll easily, latch onto this, because kaifa is a word that we always use, or you'll hear that it is commonly used, okay? And kaifa means or refers to how. Remember? How is like, when you ask a question, are you, or is this, whatever, and when it comes to man mean what, and who means, man means who, and ma means what. Now we come to kaifa. Now we say, the interrogative particle kaifa is used to ask the question how. The interrogative particle ma will also be referred to in this chapter. Righto. Okay. So it will come to who and what. See here? Righto. So we go on. We did have to get the examples. Here we can see, remember, they will now, as I said, we are now familiar with the attached pronouns. So now they will use lots of the attached pronouns. Righto? Kaifa anta. I'm sure you heard that word already before. Kaifa anta. You know anta. Now, anta here is this is the, like we would say, the pronoun referring, like as you said, this is a detached pronoun. Detached means like we say in Afrikaans, he's los. It's separate from the noun itself. And then you get obviously certain pronouns which is attached to the noun, as what we had done, in this previous exercise with kaki and, and so on, and ha and hu. So we say kaifa anta, question. Kaifa haluka, also, how. Kaifa means how. Anta, how are you? Kaifa haluka, you can also ask, how are you? Can you see that? Because ka is you and ta is, anta is also you. You see? So you can ask the question in both phrases here, or in this particular request here. Kaifa anta, how are you? And obviously for female, you would say kaifa anti, right? Kaifa anti, right? Kaifa haluka or kaifa haluki. How are you? And it's important that we should now realize, soon as you ask the question or you start your sentences with a question, as I mentioned before, please take note that whenever you ask a question in Arabic, you'll find that, like we call it, the particle, the particle, the interrogative particle, kaifa or how or ma or man, they will always start the sentence. Okay? The sentence will always start with that question request, or we call it the interrogative particle. Kaifa here, you can say kaifa anta or man anta, or so forth, So kaifa anta, how are you? And you must remember, when you see that, then automatically when you read that sentence, you must read it in a manner in which, or in a manner like asking a question. You can't say kaifa anta, You need to express. Normally when a person speaks, he expresses out basically, from his feeling as to what his request is. So therefore you would ask it, and you will sort of read the sentence in a manner as if asking a question. Right? Kaifa anta, kaifa haluka, Then you can also say, how is he? Kaifa huwa or kaifa haluhu. See there? Hal means condition. Okay, we'll come to that. That is, how are you? When you ask, how are you? You see, therefore you say, pip, pip. Some people call kaifa anta, how are you? But if a person asks you, kaifa haluka, hal, the word hal, refers to condition. How is your condition? Inshallah, we will do it in the explanation later on. Hal. So when a person wants to ask, how are your condition? You say, alhamdulillah, I'm fine, or something like that. And you ever can say, kaifa haluhu. See, how is his condition? Kaifa haluhu, how are you? Whatever the case may be. Then we go a bit deeper. Now you want to ask with regard to the person's health. Kaifa sihatuki. Siha means, your health. Therefore, many times people are, so this is something extra which I know many of us, alhamdulillah, we understand already, kaifa haluka, or kaifa haluk, or kaifa haluki, whatever you say that. Then the person say, alhamdulillah, wa anta, you see, wa anta, and how are you? Then you say, alhamdulillah, right? Then what do I ask now? Then many people, no drive weg, no kan nie meer vir julle praat nie. Here's something else. So now I say, kaifa sihatuka. Kaifa, how is your health? See, here we see, so we can, or you can say, kaifa sihatuha. So here's two words that we're learning on, hal, haluk, or haluhu, hal, and siha, right? Sihatuk, okay? Sihatuk or siha, right? And because you'll see, obviously, this is here, the ta will change to a ta uta'nith, meaning a ta marbuta, because the word sihatun is, like we would say, it's feminine here. Kaifa sihatuka, okay? Therefore, you have the ta now changing to a flat ta. Can you see that? Takes to a flat ta. You know why? Because you're adding the attached pronoun on there. Kaifa sihatuha, how is her health? Or how is your mother? Kaifa walidatuka. See that? Kaifa walidatuka. That was a word that we did earlier on. Now you can say, for example, how is your father? Kaifa walidaka. Walidaka. Then you don't put the tie on there. Okay? Kaifa walidaka. Right? Or walidaduka. Waliduka. Waliduka. Kaifa waliduka. And as you can say, kaifa walidatuka, meaning feminine. How is your mother? Walidati. My answer, walidati tayyibatun. Walidati tayyibatun. How is your mother? So obviously you will respond with to say, my mother is, if I say, how is your mother? Your answer, because remember when you ask the question ka, it refers to me speaking the addressing a person directly. We will say it's second person. And when we speak about another person, the two of us speak about another person, then we refer to the third person. There is what we use, hu or ha, meaning him or her, right? So therefore, you will now respond, walidati, my mother, tayyibatun. Why? Because mother, you see that? Mother is feminine, so tayyibatun is feminine. If I would say walidu, or say walidahu, walidi, sorry, if I said walidi, my father, walidi, then I have to say tayyibun. See that? Walidi, tayyibun. Remember, as I always say to us, the attached pronoun, does not affect, the actual, what you would say, noun here. But when you look at the noun and you refer, as we say, this is the noun, and this is the, like we say, this is the mubtada and the khabar, meaning this is a subject, this is a predicate, then you obviously then these two will agree in gender, the noun and so the mubtada and the khabar, the subject and the predicate will agree in gender, but not necessarily the attached pronoun. Okay, so inshallah, that is just the introduction. Let us read quickly what they say with regards to us getting an understanding. Right. In the first two examples, the particle kaifa is used first. Important, the independent pronoun to express a question. So when you ask a question, as I say, kaifa, ma, man, huwa, no, not huwa, man, how, all that. No? Those are all asking a question, and you always find, as I mentioned to us, importantly, if the question is, when a question is asked, these particles are the beginning of the sentence. Number two, the word halun, see the condition is used. How is your condition? So how are you? Basically, as you can see in Arabic, therefore I always say, Arabic is a beautiful language with regards to being very specific. See that? Because if I say, how are you? You don't really know, or I don't really know what you want from me. But if you ask the question, kayfa haluk, then I ask, what is your condition? So when I ask the condition, obviously, then it refers to my feeling within my health or whatever the case may be. Okay? So therefore we say, kayfa halun means condition is used. It is a combination, it's combined with the attached pronoun to express your, his, her condition. See there? Haluha, her condition. Haluhu, his condition. Haluka, your condition. Haluki, your condition, female. Okay? Righto. The word sihatun, see there? Sihatun, health, is used in the third group to express your, his, or her health, right? Sihatuha. Can you see that? Remember when I said, see, sihatun is a feminine word here? But when you now add the pronoun on there, as we had said, remember, then that ta marbuta turns to a ta maftuha, meaning an open ta, a flat ta. So therefore it becomes sihatuha, sihatuhu, sihatuka. See there? The ka, the hu, and the ha is being added as being your attached pronouns. To this noun, a pronoun has been attached, right? The words halun or sihatun may be replaced by other nouns as well to express different types of questions. For example, how is your mother? Kaifa ummuka? My mother is fine. Ummi tayyibatun. See that? Fine. My mother is fine. Tayyib. Tayyibatun. Okay? Ummi tayyibatun. How is your mother? So if you say your mother, obviously I would say my mother. I say ummi tayyibatun. Importantly, you can't say tayyibatun ummi. Ummi tayyibatun. We know the formation of the sentence here because ummi is definite. I always will remind us. Why do I say this is a complete sentence? Because ummi, my mother, that's definite. Tayyibatun, obviously, as we would say there, this will now then be the khabar. This is the the predicate, and that is the subject. Why? Because the predicate is always, remember the statement we made last week? You'll still see it in our notes, that the predicate is always indefinite. Always indefinite. It will never have a al-an, or it will never have a pronoun on here to indicate, possession. See, but ummi, that indicates possession. Why? Because it is my ummi, it's a specific mother. Or, the Arabic word for O is O. No, O, hiya tayyibatun. She is fine. So you can answer my mother. If you ask her, how is your mother? Or person asks you, how is your mother? And you can say, my mother, hiya. Or if you can say, how is your father? Huwa tayyibun. See there? Hiya tayyibatun. Why? Hiya female, tayyibatun female. Right? If I say he is fine, huwa tayyibun. See there? So there we can see the word fine we've now learned about. We've learned about hal, meaning condition. See there? Siha is also, it's to refer to your health. Okay? So there's different manners in which the question can be asked, and importantly for us, to note the different words that are being used. And therefore I always, as I said, I always tell us and I remind us that the Arabic language is very specific when it comes to, the word places that they use, inshallah. Okay. Now if we go further, the word tayyibun, fine, may be replaced by the word khayrun. See that? Ana bi khayr. Alhamdulillah. You heard that one already. But khayrun, well, I am fine. You can say ara tayyibun or ana bi khayr. Okay? We say that khayr means well, but then you can note that this word has a preposition, a bi, in. I am in good health or I am with good health is attached to it, like as therefore you also say, no, you won't say ana khair, you say ana bi khair, I am with good health. Ana bi khair, I am in good health. See there? So that's what it basically means. So you can use all this, you can say tayyibun, I am fine, and obviously if you want to be more specific, you say I am in good health, or I am, as we say that I am with goodness. Okay. So you have kaifa usratuhu. Usratuhu is another word for family. Okay. Alun is for dangas, and here usran. Usratun. Usratun is a family. Al-usratu is the family. Usratuhu, his family. See there? Kaifa usratuhu, how is his family? If somebody asks you, how is your family? Kaifa usrati. See there? I say, if I say my family, then I would say obviously usrati, whatever else we have there. We say kaifa usratuhu, how is his family? His family is well. Usrati bi khairin. In actual, it shouldn't be usrati.
It's wrong, yes.
It's wrong. It should be usratuhu. Usratuhu bi khairin. Right? So there is an error there. But if he asks me, how is your family? Kaifa usrati. Then I would say usrati bi khairin. Okay? So now usratuka, kaifa usratuka. If he asks kaifa usratuka, how is your family? Right? Then I would have said usrati bi khairin. See, are you with me? So this is an error here. No? It should be, if he says his family, means usratuhu bi khairin. Right? Okay. Kaifa ibnuka, how is your son? My son is fine. Ibni tayyibun. See there? Ibni tayyibun. So you can, as I say, you can use fine, you can use well, all these different words, you see. So the last one here, the word tayyibun, fine, must agree in gender with a noun attached, attached to the pronoun. But the word khairun, well, which has the preposition be attached to it, will not change in gender. Very, very important. So bi khairin, because usratun is a feminine word. See there? There's not a feminine word khairatun. Khairatun is not a feminine word. Khair is that is the word as referring to, like you say, well. So you won't get like a feminine well and a masculine well. Okay? So therefore, as they make the statement here, the word khair, well, which has the preposition be in it, attached to it, will not change its gender, which means you can use it for a masculine, as a feminine, as I use the word here, usratun. Usratun is a feminine word, but therefore, see, there's not a tamar buta on at the back here. Okay? Right on. before I go further, is there any question here? We do some examples now. Any questions with this? Because it was quite a bit of, I would say, discussions, and I think it's you need to fully, take note of the actual important points that we mentioned, especially with regards to, the wording. I'm not too much concerned about the kaifa and that, and khair and bikhair and tayyibun and halun and that, but I just want us to very, very carefully note, the question. If you ask the questions, ka, if they ask you, how are you? Then you will obviously respond with me, like my mother. Kaifa ummuka? Then you say, ummi, my mother. See that? Tayyibatun. Why? Because tayyibatun is on the same gender as ummi, right? If it was, how is your father? Then it would have been abi tayyibun. See, because tayyibatun here is feminine, right? So is there any questions before I go further, inshallah? Because I don't hear, I didn't get a murmur. Only Auntie Rhoda said something. Niemand anders gewoon nie. But I see, alhamdulillah, the classes, like we've got about 16 students to this evening. So alhamdulillah, is there any, please, like I say, I don't want us to lose track now, especially where we are now in lesson number 16. It's, we've progressed a lot, but I want us to be with the group, with the team, Any questions? Are we all comfortable with it?
Imam, I don't know if you want to tell them that for the B and then the Jarya, the I, be khair. I know that's a lesson that still goes, but that it doesn't get a U or a because of the preposition in front.
Yeah. In actual fact, and that comes in the next lesson.
Okay.
Lesson number 17 is the harfu jar, meaning the preposition. When it's a preposition, obviously, then the last letter takes a I. You see, because we've now done the U, which is most for the definite, the al. But now we're going to start doing the I. But inshallah, that is the next lesson. But as we rightfully say, because B is just for us for further reference maybe next week, because B is a harfu jar, meaning it is a preposition in Arabic. Whenever you add a preposition to a word, or a word is affected by a preposition, then obviously where we add the bun, the un, for example, was for definite, it will now change to a I, okay? Therefore you see bikhayrin, see there, bikhayrin, as we have it here, okay? But that we'll do next week because B is, like we would say, I think we read it in the notes here, I think I just want to confirm. Yes, we read it in the notes, we said here, note that this word has a preposition, see there, B. See the word preposition. We didn't do prepositions yet. We did one, I think, we did one, but we're going to come to the general prepositions like fi, min, and all those, Then you'll see the preposition, because of the preposition, it changes your noun to take a I sound, okay? But inshallah, we will discuss that next week. Let us first try and absorb this. But shukran for that, Auntie Rhoda. We will, inshallah, definitely make note of that, inshallah. So, before we go on, is there any thing else, that we need to maybe just straighten out or just get the confirmation on, inshallah, before I continue with the examples? Everybody happy? Everybody comfortable?
You can proceed, Imam.
Fadda, right. Now we look at the examples. Okay, the examples as the explanations was quite in detail, lots of fact there. We see the use of kaifa, right? Now they give us examples. Kaifa anta? How are you? Ana tayyibun. See, because now I say I am. See there, I am, right? We're asking the question to anta, to you. So obviously your response will be ana. And that is important, as we can see here, for example, what is happening is, because it's a detached pronoun here, detached, you see, you respond with ana, right? And if it was the attached one, you respond with, for example, how are you? Then you refer to the, I am, or the me. You would say, how are you in this, kaifa khaluka, then you say, kaifa khaluka, which was the attached pronoun. Then you would say, ana bi khair, or like we have it, ana tayyibun. Okay? So as you can see here, importantly, here they show us another way of asking it, and now they're using the detached the detached pronouns in the beginning here, and on other words we go on with the other, as we can see here. So I think I wonder if it would be possible for us maybe to unmute and maybe read this just so that we can familiarize ourselves with the wording itself, because I mean I think this is now just more exercises for us to maybe just familiarize ourselves. So I'd like us to read this, for example, in a format of a question, and you answer this, you know, as a reply, you know, as a normal sentence. Like for example, كيف أنت؟ أنا طيب. كيف هو؟ هو بخير. كيف هي؟ هي طيبة. كيف صحتك؟ You know, صحتي. See there? In your answer, صحتي. See there? You can respond with that. صحتي طيبة. كيف صحته? How is he? صحته طيبة. كيف صحتها? صحتها طيبة. Okay, let us read there from the beginning. Bismillah, all together. Try and pace it lekker. Bismillah. Okay. Unmute. Right. Hold on. Bismillah.
كيف أنت؟
كيف أنت؟
All together. كيف أنت؟
كيف أنت؟
نعم.
أنا طيب.
أنا طيب.
Whoa. All together. Imagine we must now, well, when is Heritage Day? Ons moet nou die skoolsiekie Lela sing daar met Heritage Day en die
Hoe is
eerste
Lela?
van hulle en dan die ander. Gaan ons sal ons nooit 'n first prize kry vir hy singer. So kom dat ons okay as a group Samson, right? Bismillah, all together. Bismillah.
كيف أنت؟
أنا طيب.
Ana tayhi.
طيب.
Ana tayyibun. Kaifa anta? Ana tayyibun. Remember, we don't say ana. Remember, when you say ana, meaning, you know, even though there's a alif there, you know, but as I remember when I told us and I explained to us why we say ana. Ana means I. But you can't say, but why don't we just take the alif away and say ana? Because then that ana means that. You know what I'm trying to say? See? But ana here means I. Okay, so therefore the alif must be there. You pronounce that ana, you pronounce it like as a short vowel. Okay. Right on. The next one, kaifa huwa.
كيف هو؟
كيف هو؟
Right? Answer?
هو بخير.
هو طيب.
No. Please remember what I said to us. For us as students, ons gaan die hele woord say. We are going to say the last vowel as well. Because it's important for us as students to pronounce the last vowel, because that will indicate to us that we understand, right? Because if you say khair, then you just make a sukoon there. It's easy to do that, but it's gonna complicate when you read. Because when you read, then you won't be able to detect would I know a ivis or a avis or a uvis. You remember? Therefore, when Auntie Rhoda mentioned there bikhair, remember she said, you know, we must emphasize there with the ra being a I. Remember that. So it's important, you know, I want us to read that. I want us to read the marbutas and all the signs on here so that you and I can be comfortable to realize or to be able to detect or understand whether it's masculine or feminine. Okay? Right on. كيف هو؟
كيف هو؟
كيف هو؟ right on.
هو بخير.
هو بخير.
طيب, right on.
كيف هي؟
كيف هي؟
نعم.
هي طيب.
هي طيبة.
هي طيبة.
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 هي طيبة. Okay, هي طيبة.
Yeah, طيبة.
طيبة. Yeah, طيب, you know.
She is fine.
طيبة. Okay, right on. كيف؟
كيف صحتك؟
كيف صحتك؟
Everybody, كيف؟
كيف صحتك؟
نعم.
صحتي طيبة.
صحتي طيبة. صحتي طيبة.
What we must do is, this week you must concentrate on all these words, because this will start, or I would say it will trigger your conversational, you know, Arabic, because then at least you can now converse with somebody, you know, with regards to, you know, asking a few questions and answering, you know what I'm trying to say? And so you can change it over, you know. You can even like, you know, for example, you can ask, not just about the person individually, but you can ask about these possessions also, you know. كيف سيارتي؟ كيف سيارتك? How is your car? You know. So how we always say, his health is good. You see, so you got to use the proper words here. You can't say sikhatu, you know, health is right on. Anyway, next one, kaifa sikhatuhu, come, kaifa.
كيف صحتها؟
كيف صحته؟
كيف صحته؟ right on.
صحته
صحته
طيبة.
طيبة.
صحته طيبة.
طيبة.
Right on, next one.
كيف صحتها؟
صحتها
كيف صحتها؟
صحتها
صحتها طيبة.
طيبة.
طيبة. Now can you see now how many times did you use the word sikhatuha? How many times did you use the word tayyibun? How many times did you use the word kaifa? You'll see inshallah after this you will remember those words, inshallah. You know, you will remember that, alhamdulillah. Right, and now we're gonna come to something nice also here. We can find that now something more that we can add, the use of ma. Right now, the use of ma. What? You know, the interrogative particle ma is also used with nouns which are attached to pronouns. Okay? This is very, very important. See there? Ma. Obviously, you know, we would read ma ismuka, right?
ما اسمك؟
But yeah, ma ismukani, ma asmukani, ma ismuka.
ما
But
اسمك؟
when obviously when we look at, you know, when we look at the Arabic language itself here, you know, obviously when you ask ma ismuka, you can ask the question like that. But the proper way, you know, as with regards to the reading of the Quran, you would say masmuka. See? Because when the mim goes into the sin there, then that alif is there as grammatical value. Ismuka must be there. Because if you ask ismu, what is ismu? Ismu means name. Remember we use the word a noun. A noun is an ism. Remember? A noun is a name. It's a name of something, right? So now you ask the question, masmuka. You can say ma ismuka, whatever. But obviously, I think the better you would say, people always would ask the question, masmuka. Then you know that alif becomes, as I could say, it becomes for grammatical value. But like I say, you can't say now, but if we have to say masmuka, why don't you just take the alif away? You can't, because the word ismu refers to name, right? So that is actually, ismuka means your name, right? Ismi, not ismi, ismi is like my name, obviously. And ismuha, what is her name? Ismuhu, what is his name, see? Or ismuhu, her name, but now you say ma, what? So we say masmuka, ismi Hasanun. Mean ismi Hasanun, my name is Hasan. So you can say your you can say your own name. If I would say, if I ask you Roshan, if I ask you the question, masmuka, how would you answer? Roshan?
Yeah.
If I ask you masmuka, what is your name? How would you answer? Ismi, my name, na? Ismi Roshan.
Roshan.
Now, remember, I said to us, we don't have the Roshan Nun say, because the Una is only for the only, like, you know, your name can refer to any other than, you know, than to say, because if, as I mentioned to us, when a name of a man, it ends with an un sound, then it's like from Arab origin, you see, Arabic origin. But you know, we find, you know, names of Jewish, like Ibrahim is like Jewish, you know, so you'll say Ismi Ibrahim. Tamani, if I ask you Ismi, say Masmuka, if I ask you Tamani, Masmuka, how would you say?
Ismi.
Was Abdurrahman Tamani? Mute is hij kijkt eens naar ons. Ze camera is ook af.
Nee,
Oh, daar, ja. Hoe gaat het? As
Yeah,
ek wil
that-
na Mani vra, Masmuka, what would you say?
Ismi Abdurrahman.
Barakallah, barakallah. And Walid, if I ask you, is Masmuka Walid? Walid, if I say Masmuka,
اسمي
Hij is unmute. Die zo is.
Walid, are you there? Walid, this one is Walid. Okay, and then Jaris, if I say Masmuka to you, Walid? I mean,
اسمي جريز.
it's me, Jaris, yeah. Okay, righto. And now for the females, righto. Ma ismuha, what is her name? Then obviously we would answer, we would say, Ismuha
Wa.
Hasina. Ismuha
اسمها روضة.
Hasina.
Hasina. Hasina. You see a female's name is not Hasina Tun, you know? Ismi Hasina. Right? Ismi Hasina. Hassan is the masculine form. Hasina Tun is the feminine thereof. Right? Now we go a bit further. Ma mihnatuhu. Mihnatun. Right? We did this already. We did occupation, remember, before. We asked, Ma mihnatuhu. What is his occupation?
ما
If
محنته.
I ask you what is your, oh yes, okay. Ma mihnatuhu. Your answer will be huwa
Wa
محنته
muhandisun.
muhandisun. Right? He is the
مهندس.
so you know whatever your occupation will be,
Professional. Yeah.
you would obviously and I think what we can do, we're gonna do homework now, or I'll give us homework for next week. Whatever your occupation is, okay?
What
You
is your
answer that
occupation?
question. Whatever your occupation is, like if you are.
What is it turning now again?
So what?
We did it a few weeks ago, you know?
Ik het zelf niet wat is mijn occupation in.
Walid, that's homework, Walid, that's homework. Ons kan nie weer nou ja met die homework hier, Walid. Okay, so I mean, like I say, please do this exercise with yourself and whoever, man. You know, then then you can work it out. You know, inshallah. Okay, but these are so we can see we can do have nice conversation. You know, with whoever you want to partner with, just to open the and obviously you'll find that sometimes you'll answer, sometimes you'll think before, but eventually you'll find that that comes natural. You see? And here, for example, ma mihnatuka, what is your occupation? He's a photographer. Say, ana musawwar, ana musawwirun, ana musawwirun. I am a photographer. Okay?
مصور. أنا
أنا
مصور.
مصور.
مصور. So obviously,
أنا
we use
مصور.
that example.
أنا مصور.
If you are, if these carpenters in it, Anna, if you say I'm a carpenter, Anna Najarun, you know, Anna Najarun. Najar is
أنا
a
نجار.
carpenter. Anna Najarun, I am a carpenter.
أنا نجار.
Okay, remember your answer must start with, or sorry, must start with at the back, because you say you are a whatever, you know. You won't say you are the carpenter. You say I am a carpenter.
Hey.
I am a doctor. You know. Ana tabibun. You know. Ana tabibun. I am a doctor. You know. Ana talibun. I am a student. You know. Ana muhandisun. I am an engineer. You know.
أنا معلم.
أنا مديرة.
مدير يا ايوه
أنا معلم.
انا معلم ايوه تفضل
مدير.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله طيب
أنا مشهورا.
صور
يا ما في.
Anyway, right, new vocabulary. I think we're going a bit over here. We should conclude now, inshallah. I'm just gonna do the new words with us, inshallah, and then I think we have quite a basket full of exercises to do, you know, for next week, inshallah. But please, once again, man, please try and go through it so that you can at least maybe understand. I want us to understand, because I don't want to every week give, you know, my great desire is to give us a new lesson every week. But I also don't want to put us in so much difficulty you know, that we don't follow. To me, everybody follows, I know, and you don't need to be concerned about it. Really. You know, I know everybody is very eager, and I know some of us, we do understand, but we still have a bit, I should say, no, I won't say shy, but we're withholding it, inshallah. But that is I think that is the advantage of you having the book, and also the method that Yusuf introduces to us, where he sends us the you know, the YouTube link and all that. So that is nice. So what he was doing was go from the beginning again. Start with the beginning and go through it, and especially, you know, and then you can see, inshallah, you because the acquiring of the textbook, that was a good you know, I think that's a good move that we made, in that you can actually continue with this and keep on and on and on, and keep it for years, because, you know, you can just refer a reference. Eventually you'll find that you know that book, you know, from back to front. You know exactly where to find what, and that is going to be an advantage to you, inshallah. Yeah, let's just unmute and end off with a new vocabulary, inshallah. Okay, all together. Sikhatun.
Sikhatun.
Sikhatun means health, right? In.
B.
Okay.
B.
B is in.
It's a
Name.
proposition.
Name.
Ismun.
See there? Ismun, right?
Ismun.
Is a name. See, a name. If you say, for example, ismuka means
Ismuka. Your
means the name.
Your name.
Your name. Your name. See, your name. And if you want to ask, what is your name? Say masmuka. You see? So if you say ismuka, your name.
Masmuka.
Right? But you always ask the
Masmuki.
question, you know? Masmuki.
What is her name?
Okay. What is
Your name female.
Your name female. Yeah. Okay, a family.
Usratun.
Usratun. No?
Usratun.
Usratun. Okay. You know, so how's your family? You know, how's your family? Oh, family
Hasana.
usratun. Well,
Usratun hasana. Khayrun.
Usratun
خير
Khayrun. Right.
Usratun hasana.
Condition. Yeah? How is your condition? You know, this is like if you want to
أنا
inquire,
بالخير
yeah, and when you inquire about the person's condition, you know, you say حال, you know, كيف حال,
كيف
كيف
حالك
حالك, كيف
كيف
حالك,
حالك
حالك, no, كيف حالك, how's your
كيف
condition,
حالك
you know, or ask your wife, Carla, كيف حالك, you know, so, okay, occupation, مهنة,
مهنة
so obviously مهنتك,
مهنة.
مهنته, okay, or مهنتي, my occupation. Photographer is مصور.
مصور مصور
Yeah, therefore you see مصور, you'll see inshallah as you're going to go along and you'll decipher yourself. You see the word صور. A صور is a photo, you know? صور, صور, صور is a photo, but the person taking a photo, you add a mim on. See there? Remember I always told the salah means to, salah is the word, you know, you pray, but the person makes salah is
Musalli.
add the m. The traveler is to travel is
Safir.
Kafir.
you know, Safir. But the person who travel is
Musafir.
Musafir. So if we go on and on.
Musafir.
There's a beautiful word. This word. You see, there's various words for friend. Sadiqun. Sadiqun. The word Sadiq, as you know, Sadiq is this is like Sadiq means this is the best quality of friends that you can have. Sadiq. You say you're my Sadiq. Sadiq means this is my honest friend. You're my trustworthy friend. You know what I'm saying? It's got a lot of qualities. Where if you say, for example, like Khalil is also referred to. Allah Ta'ala referred to Nabi Ibrahim as my Khalil. No? Khalil is also an honorable friend. You see, an honorable friend. But if you like, for example, refer to like I would say something was we normally used to say my best friend, you know, of my friend that I mostly trust or whatever is Sadiq. No? Sadiqun, you know. Also the word Sadiq, you know. Amal come from the word of Sadiq. No? So therefore it's a friend that is okay. Sadiqun. And then the tailor, there's it. Khayatun. You know, khayatun. Ne?
Khayatun.
Khayatun is a
Khayatun.
tailor, a male tailor. Khayatatun is a
Khayatun.
female tailor.
خياطة خياط
The female tailor.
خياط خياطة
Khayatun.
Khayatatun. Yeah. Khayatatun. Yeah.
خياط
Khayatun is was now a
Khayatun.
tailor man and a dressmaker. Khayatatun. Ne? Khayatatun.
Khayatatun.
Added tamar buta. Inshallah, there we got nice questions, and so inshallah, I think I think we had a fruitful session. It was quite interesting, and I think it will actually also bring about some time that we need to maybe sacrifice with us, inshallah. Is there any questions before we conclude, inshallah? Any questions? Everybody comfortable, inshallah. But like I say, consult the lecture that we had. You know, you'll find the answers there. If there's anything there that we maybe not covered, you know, please feel free. You know, we can discuss it again, inshallah. Okay, because I must say this is a very good class, but there's never any questions. You know, never any questions. So I don't know. Know what I'm saying? I don't know. Is there maybe some, how can I say, are we holding back? Are we, you know, are we shy? I think by now we've had, how many sessions now already? 16 sessions. And I think after 16 times, you know, being in contact with one another by whatever means, you know, I think we should feel comfortable with one another now by this particular stage, inshallah. But anyway, if there's nothing further, inshallah, shukran for the attendance once again, and shukran for, inshallah, participating. And I hope, inshallah, that, you know, we benefit from this, inshallah, and that we will, from here, inshallah, we strengthen on. Inshallah, we go on at the pace that we're going now, because we can see now that we only just need to do one at a time, inshallah. Okay? So do your revision and make sure, you know, and inshallah, like I said to us, the exercises that I've got, you know, every time I intend to send it out, but then I feel no, it's not ready. I mean, we're not ready. So inshallah, let us see, so that we can maybe work on the first, what do you call it, exercise, or I won't say exam, but more the first assignment. Ne? Nou, as ek gaan exam gebruik aan die Roda, gaan hulle nie weer terugkom. Sê maar liewerste, assignment. The first assignment, you know. Assignment means that you have an open book exam, you know, meaning just to make sure that you do understand, inshallah. Anyway, shukran very much, and you know, keep well, fi amanillah. You know, go in the safety of Allah Ta'ala. Inshallah, we hope to speak again, inshallah. To all those who are not well, Yusuf, inshallah, look after yourself well. Don't Allah. Shifa and Kamilan. You know, Shifa and Kamilan, complete recovery from your challenge. To all those who are not well, may Allah grant them success. Ameen.
Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Barakatuh.
Oh yeah.